thank you very much to everybody to be here. I understand that UK is sleeping this morning. You're on vacation today, so let's take everybody from elsewhere in the world. So just wanted to introduce here something very short. Is the road to scaling up for biochar, biocoal production, mostly for biocoal production. So when we want to scale up, one of the problems that we have, everybody, mostly in Europe, if we can think of, is that we talk for many years about biochar, but yet it takes time to pick up and multiply the plant, multiply the market, and all those kind of aspects. So why don't we see it scaling up, and how does it happen, and what is happening right now in North America? So in North America right now we have 20% more demand than available right now in agricultural biochar. So some will say I cannot sell my biochar, and others they have sold for the next 3 years, and I will try to explain why later on. And in terms of biocoal, there's 10 times more demand than the biocoal that is produced right now. Those are shocking numbers for most of you, as most of you would think that biochar and biocoal are not sold right now. However, even if there is that demand, the demand is still not big. And why it's not big right now? The first thing is education. People haven't heard about it. So when we make market studies for our clients and we call all different professional users, ag producer, whoever it is that could be potentially interested in biochar, 75% of them in North America have never heard about it. And so those that have heard about it, they actually don't know what that is. So education is one of the most important refrain to the market. The other things, the expectation. Oftentimes they expect high price, and for very good reason, in the sense that producers have announced high price, and if we look in Europe, the price is still very high. But for a lot of North American producers, the price is not that high. So it's a misconception for several of them. And also for the availability, those that try to find, the early adopters that try to find biochar or biocoal, actually they don't find it. They don't know where to look at it. And so it for them, it's just not available. It's not there. And they stop looking for it. And the other thing is the quality. For when you want to make a product using biochar, with biochar being an ingredient in your process, on your product, the problem that they had so far, I would say up to 2 years ago, was the quality of this product and the quality control, so that even if it's a low quality of biochar, it has to be always the same quality. If it's high quality, always the same quality. And the producers were not that good at guaranteeing the quality and the quality control. And that is moving, that is changing a lot. So in North America right now, the tonnage in 2023, 2024, probably more in 2024, it's about 2 million tons per year that has been announced by the projects that are already quite advanced, not projects that that have little chance to go through. So it's a lot more than what we had this year. And so the tonnage is coming, but it's still 2 million tons is still a very small market, and it's not enough to answer to the needs that is coming. So why is there not more offer? The financing. First of all, the bank and the finance institution, they are reluctant to support biochar and biocoal production. First of all, they are scared of the technology. They think the technology doesn't work. And also they cannot provide proof of market. So that this more difficult, but it's becoming easier because some of the consumer right now want to invest themselves in the production plant to make sure that they will have the production they need. And the other thing is that also the production right now are from small producers. You know, they produce 5,000 tons a year or less or something like that. So which it becomes more difficult to finance because it's the return on investment is less important, and with such small production you need a lot of plants to respond to the needs. But those that are coming are like 15,000 tons and more of production, so it's completely different range of production. And also why there is not more offer, some of the smaller producers and maybe less trained on the biochar carbon market, they expect super high price. So they forecast high price and they say out loud it's going to be a high price, but yet this is not what people want to pay. So they have difficulties to get letter of interest for their products. But most of it, the biggest problem is not only the offer is too small or the buyers don't know about it, is the structure. And we talk about that for several years. I've been in this market for 19 years, and we see that the structure is not yet there, but it's coming. For the structure, we need a quality control, which you are a lot more advanced in Europe about quality control than in North America. There's no brokers, or not many brokers. They are coming. Some companies are coming, like in Europe, and us in North America, brokerage is starting to be organized. And that is a very important fact, because when you have brokers, it's easier for buyers and for sellers to know where to sell, because they put that in the hands of brokers, and brokers organize and find the sales, the buyers and the sellers. So brokerage is coming. We can see small companies starting to do it. And the other thing is that why brokerage will become important is because a very large potential consumer, like the iron ore industry, they need large supply, and they don't want to be supplied by 200 suppliers to get the amount they need. So they need a kind of a structure that will allow them to buy at 1, 2, or 3 place maximum to get the product they need. So, and with brokerage is coming, and large suppliers, large producers are coming as well. And there is also no organization that do marketing, education, and lobbying toward different industries. So for as long as we are not organized on that aspects, it's going to be really difficult to penetrate the market. Although some of the market are looking for biochar, it's still not organized. So, and that's a very big lack that we have. And that is coming within the last 2 years. We saw a lot of this that's starting to be structured in North America and even in Europe as well. Yes, and when I say the structure is coming, the producers start producing more. Each new announcement that we see is mostly for 15,000 ton and more, up to 50,000 ton a year. So that's going to be a huge increase in production. The international companies also, they start consuming, like, let's say, those that have been announced out loud in the market, like ArcelorMittal and Vale and Elkem Metal, Rio Tinto, Carmers for the lime industry, etc. So they said out loud they are gonna consume, and some of them decided to produce for themselves to make sure that there will be production for them. And several influencers start working together to develop new offers. So this is true in North America and in Europe. I'm sorry, for those that are in Asia In Africa, I'm less aware of the market, although in Africa it's coming as well. Some of the influencers like Jeka, for example, our company and other company are organizing at working with other companies together to help organize the industry. So it should ease the access, and it should ease the access to the buyers, and the quality control, and identifying the right product for the right market for those producers. And also the price is adjusting. What will happen in North America is that some will be producing super large tonnage and volume starting now and starting within the next 2 years. And that will be co-products of biomass power plants and biofuel production and all those kind of things. So the price is going down with that large volume as well. Just wanted to say that if we look in North America, for example, we will flood the market within the next 5 years with biochar, low quality biochar coming from as a co-product, as I said, from biofuel, natural gas, renewable natural gas production, and all those kind of things. There will be a lot of biochar coming out from that. And this will allow people that need low quality, low price biochar to have access to it. And that is coming from really organized industry, which will help a lot to organize also the biochar industry. So this is super simple. Today I was just talking about, I just wanted to shock you by saying that, yes, that will be a flood of biochar. Yes, the structure is coming, and the production and the consumer are here right now knocking at our door to find the biochar they need. That's it. It's very, very, very simple. So I put more time. I hope to have more time to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. Interesting insights into the North American biochar market. So my first question would be, if there's a lot of low quality byproduct biochar coming on the market, who do you think will buy that? Is that for agricultural use, or where will it go? What do you think?
Yeah, there are different places that it will go. Some of them will call it biocoal because it's going to be for energy purposes, and other will go for agriculture or maybe land reclamation, those kind of things. So we will use the carbon market to increase our revenues for the producers. So it's going to be put in the soil or in construction materials. And this is based on the carbon market. That's how the biochar producer will be able to make their money. Decreasing the price so that it becomes accessible to different agriculture, and also to reduce odor and control sludge transformation, those kind of things. So those are market, low price, quality, high volume demand.
Okay. And I guess that's the first to pop up during the next 2 years, according to your research. So you got a couple of questions from John Hoffmeyer. So you mentioned Rio Tinto. What is their interest? Metallurgical reductant, or do you know what are they looking for?
Yeah, all different. Iron ore, the iron industry and metallurgy industry, there are different markets which we can go for the biochar and biocoal. The easiest one is for the energy. The other one is as a reductant. Another one is an anode cathode, and iron ore pellets. So we have 5 or 6 type of different products that they will be consuming. And biocoke as well.
Are they interested in the CDR part of biochar at all, or is that really more of a niche market so far?
No, some are really interested by the super large volume to replace really for the energy purpose, and
Okay.
other are niche markets with high value, very high value actually, but niche market, but still niche market in the metallurgy industry. It's a large volume.
Yeah, that's um, and Sandy Martin was asking, why is this projected flood of biochar low quality?
Because they are all installing at the same time within the next 3 to 5 years, even earlier. Renewable gas, renewable natural gas, biofuel, biocoal, biocoke, and biomass power plants. They're all installing at the same time, and all does give residues, which is biochar and hydrogen production as well. So anything that consume biomass that is not combustion, like hydrogen and renewable natural gas, then you do have biochar as a co-product, and they don't need the biochar to be to have a good return on investment. So because they don't need it, then they will get rid of it cheap.
Okay. So next question was from Marie Selvam. How to maintain batch-to-batch consistency during large-scale production in case you mix biomass feedstocks together? So I guess the question is, if you are too big, you might have to have varying quality of input material.
Yeah, this is called the retailers, resellers, brokers. This is people that buy from different producer, and they mix on a constant system with a constant quality control. So this is not the batch per se that will be control batch on site, but it's going to be a mixture of different products that will make it homogeneous over time.
Okay. So we just go quickly through the questions because there are more coming. Can you project doubling time for the next 10 years in North America, or?
Yes, it will be more than double. Yeah, it's exponential.
Okay. And what is the average price of biochar in Canada? I mean, I guess you have different average prices.
Yeah, it ranged from $150 per ton to $2,000 per ton. So it depends really on who sells and who buys and what's the quality of the biochar. And when I mean quality, a quality that is good for an industry may be a bad quality for another industry. So it's really, I would say, it depends on the properties that are that the industries are looking after.
And if you say $150 per ton of biochar, I mean that comes already relatively close to some CDR markets prices for CO2, which is somewhere between 20 and 40 now per ton of CO2. Do you see that as a future potential that people actually just buy it for the CO2 storage?
Absolutely. We see in North America project based only on carbon credits. They actually don't even sell a biochar.
So they dump it then, or because that was a question.
No. It goes to agriculture or to different water treatment or to different sludge treatments, but it just doesn't give that much value to the sludge. It's just they make sure that the sludge go to the soil and get their carbon credits.
Oh, okay. So Tom Miles says something that you should know. They are participating in the ISO standard to develop standards. But John Hoffmeyer was asking, can you clarify the relationship between biochar and hydrogen production you just mentioned?
Yeah, just to respond to Tom's thing, thank you everybody to be there. But Tom's, I'm glad that you bring that the standard to the ISO. That's what I was talking about, that really the industry is organizing itself, and the USBI is really active into that, and they do a very good job about it. The relationship between the biochar and the hydrogen is that the more for renewable natural gas, for hydrogen, and for those kind of renewable energy that are based on biomass, the more efficient you are, the less co-product you have. And this co-product is oftentimes a solid, and the solid, we call it a biochar. So a super efficient hydrogen production doesn't have much biochar, but it still does. And those that want to provide a co-product that may be sustainable, they may decrease a little bit the efficiency to be able to sell biochar. So this is when you gasify your system to get hydrogen, to get CO2, to get methane or other gas, you always have some solid as a leftover. And this solid is usually high carbon content. So very good quality product.
And Ronald was just making a follow-up question. So he wanted to know the growth rate for example, 2030 and 2035. What do you expect in annual production?
I don't know. But what we see in the plants that have been announced so far, it's we see several that are multiplying their plants, and it's 50,000 tons a year. So while the average right now is about 5,000 tons a year, so that gives you an idea that it's just growing exponentially.
All quite big for European comparison.
Yeah.
And then, because probably from the European side, we are not so familiar, can you just make a quick differentiation between biochar and biocoal again?
Well, I would say that let's call it char. Char is all carbonized material coming from a different type of biomass. Biochar is it's a non-combustion char that we use, and biocoal is mostly for the metallurgy and for combustion and for energy. That's how I separate that, but that's not the official description. Actually, we need to work on those definitions. So, but easily, it's when you burn it, it's a biocoal, and when you don't, it's a biochar. It's very simple definition.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, Suzanne. I think the main questions were answered. And if anyone is interested, there is a report from GECA that you can actually buy online, I think, on your website.
Yeah, you can call us to get. We have a new report that came out. It's on a biochar carbon credit market, which explain. It's a 101 for people that not know about the carbon credits, that can be interested to know how much money we can make out of it. So there's real example of some of our clients into it.
Great. Thank you very much, Suzanne.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Christian. So have a good day or evening, depending where you are. Bye-bye, everybody.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.